What the 3 terrifying desert ordeals, each more chilling than the last. From a birthday hike in Joshua Tree that ended in a tragic final embrace, to a man left stranded in the Australian outback who survived 71 days on insects and rainwater, to the Mojave hiker who chased a cave that pulsed with strange energy and never returned. The deeper we step into these deserts, the clearer it becomes that beauty here is only a mask for death, and those who enter may never escape. Let's begin at the edge. The desert has always been a place of beauty and danger, where the line between adventure and tragedy can blur in an instant. Joshua Tree National Park, with its twisted trees and alien rock formations, stands as both a wonder and a warning. It is a land that inspires awe but punishes the unprepared. In July 2017, Joseph Orbiso and Rachel Nguyen entered this wilderness seeking a birthday adventure. Joseph, disciplined and survival-minded, and Rachel, carefree and spirited, had once dated but remained close friends. They checked into an Airbnb near the park on July 26, eager for a hike the next morning. They never returned. When the rental owner discovered their belongings untouched, alarms spread quickly. Footage confirmed their Lexus entered Joshua Tree at dawn on July 27, but it was later found abandoned near a trailhead, footprints scattering away from it. Authorities launched a massive search, deploying helicopters, dogs, and more than 200 rescuers. Family and friends joined in, braving 100-degree heat in hopes of finding them alive. Yet the desert kept its silence. Weeks stretched on, and eventually the official search was scaled back. Joseph's father, Gilbert, refused to give up. Every weekend he returned to the desert, determined to find his son. Volunteers joined him, combing the unforgiving terrain. Rumors swirled: had they been abducted or were they trapped somewhere in the maze of canyons? On October 15, nearly 3 months later, hikers stumbled upon the answer. In a steep canyon, the bodies of Joseph and Rachel were found together, locked in one final embrace. Scattered water bottles and food wrappers marked their struggle. Beside them lay Joseph's gun. Investigators concluded both died of gunshot wounds in a murder-suicide. The revolver, registered to Joseph, had 3 empty chambers. Some believed Rachel was injured, unable to move, and Joseph tried to keep her alive until hope ran out. Others saw it as an act of desperation, ending unbearable suffering as supplies vanished. Autopsies revealed no drugs in Joseph's system and only traces of cannabis in Rachel's. They had not been intoxicated, only lost, dehydrated, and broken by the desert. Their bodies were just 2 miles from the car, achingly close to safety yet impossibly far in that terrain. Their story is more than tragedy, it is a warning. Joshua Tree draws thousands with its beauty, but it demands respect, preparation, and humility. Joseph and Rachel sought adventure, but the desert had the final word. In the end, they remained together, claimed by the land they had come to explore. The Australian outback is one of the most unforgiving places on Earth, a land where scorching heat, icy nights, and endless horizons swallow those who enter unprepared. To survive here without supplies is almost impossible. In January 2006, 35-year-old Ricky McGee set out on a long drive through the Northern Territory. He was confident, relaxed, and expecting nothing more than a lonely but straightforward journey. What he didn't know was that his life was about to descend into a nightmare. According to Ricky, his car broke down along an isolated stretch of highway. But the details of what happened next remain shrouded in mystery. Ricky claims strangers ambushed him, drugged him, and left him for dead in the desert. When he awoke, the world had changed. His car was gone. His food and water, gone. He was barefoot, weak, and surrounded by a wasteland stretching to the horizon. The nearest town was hundreds of miles away. The outback began its assault. The sun blazed down, baking the sand beneath his feet. Flies swarmed his face, and at night the temperature plunged, forcing him to dig shallow graves in the earth just to keep warm. Days blurred into weeks. With no supplies, Ricky turned to whatever life he could find. He ate frogs, beetles, and lizards. He chewed on grasshoppers for protein and sucked on leaves to trick his body into thinking it had food. When rain fell, he collected it in empty containers he scavenged along the way. When it didn't, he drank from filthy puddles, risking parasites in exchange for survival. His body began to waste away. His ribs pushed against his skin, his muscles vanished, and his weight plummeted to near skeletal levels. The sun scorched his back until his skin cracked and peeled like dry bark. Each night he lay in fear of dingoes, the wild dogs of the outback, who circled him in the darkness. Some nights he thought they would attack, but somehow they never did. Meanwhile, Ricky's disappearance barely made the news. No large search was launched. To the world, it was as if he had vanished into thin air. 71 days passed. 71 nights of crawling through the desert, fighting hallucinations, and wondering if he would ever see another human face again. At last, salvation arrived. A group of cattle station workers stumbled upon Ricky by sheer chance. They barely recognized him as a man. He was gaunt, barefoot, and weighed just over 100 pounds. They rushed him to safety, and doctors were stunned. Against every odd, Ricky McGee had survived 2.5 months in one of the deadliest landscapes on Earth with nothing but raw instinct. But his story raised questions. Was he truly ambushed and left to die, or did his car simply break down and panic cloud his memory? Skeptics doubted him, yet no one could deny the evidence. A man reduced to skin and bone, alive only because of sheer willpower and a refusal to surrender. The desert had tested him, stripping him of comfort, dignity, and nearly his life. Yet he walked away carrying a tale of survival that defied logic. To this day, Ricky McGee's ordeal remains one of the most chilling reminders of the outback's merciless nature. A place of haunting beauty, yes, but also a place where survival is never guaranteed. In the end, the outback did not claim him, but it changed him forever. And it left the world with a story that blurs the line between miracle, mystery, and nightmare. The Mojave Desert, beautiful yet merciless, has always called out to dreamers and wanderers, and among them was 47-year-old Kenny Veach, a seasoned hiker from Nevada who loved venturing alone into its vast and dangerous wilderness. A man described as clever, playful, and deeply bonded with the desert he grew up exploring. He collected relics from ghost towns, pushed himself on long hikes far beyond cell coverage, and relished testing his limits without GPS, compass, or even much water, relying instead on instinct and bravado. Reckless to some, fearless to others, Kenny spent years combing rugged canyons and abandoned mines, but in 2014 he claimed to have stumbled upon something unlike anything before. A cave shaped like a perfect M, that made his entire body vibrate with a strange, unexplainable energy. Filming his now infamous M Cave hike video where he explored miles of brutal terrain, joking with viewers, pointing out wildlife, but ultimately failing to relocate the cave. On November 10, 2014, Kenny set out once again alone, promising to find the cave that had haunted him, but he never returned. His car was discovered near Corn Creek Road, and soon after, searchers found his cell phone and coins near a mine shaft, but no trace of him. No body, no backpack, no gun. Rumors swirled. Had he fallen victim to the desert's brutal indifference, staged his disappearance, or uncovered something sinister tied to the military ranges nearby? Some speculated government secrets, others suicide, while his girlfriend believed he had taken his own life and left subtle signs behind, including abandoning his camera at home. Years later, blurry surveillance footage of a break-in reignited whispers that Kenny might still be alive, hiding in plain sight, though nothing was ever proven. Today, the mystery of the M Cave endures, a chilling tale fueled by conspiracy theories, online sleuths, and a man whose adventurous spirit may have led him to his death, or perhaps to a new life in hiding. His story a warning that the Mojave is no playground, but a place where arrogance, obsession, or despair can cost you everything.